But I just put in a dual battery isolated in my 2014 Chevy Silverado. And it's isolated because I'm going to be using the isolated battery to run the, what is this, the Alpicool LGCF55 portable refrigerator. So stick around and I'll show you how I did that. So why would you want to isolate the 12-volt battery? Well, the reason is for the Alpicool cooler, I'm going to be wanting to run that thing overnight when I'm parked, and I do not want that to draw down the main battery. If it drew down the main battery and something failed with the safety cutoff switch in the Alpicool cooler, it has the potential of killing my starting battery. This way, my starting battery is its own separate isolated circuit from the accessory battery, unless the engine is started and running, and of course the circuit closes and the alternator will charge both batteries the same. So here we have a 2014 Chevy Silverado. The thing that's really cool about the Chevy Silverado is it actually comes with the bracket down here for a dual battery. Now I believe you can buy an aftermarket kit to install a dual battery. The problem is that kit doesn't come with an isolator. So we'll go through this whole system. I'll show you how I have it set up, why I have it set up with the isolator, and some of the problems that I ran into when I installed this. So basically what you want to do is you want to set up two batteries in parallel. That way it maintains the 12-volt voltage. This is going to be your negative terminal off of your secondary battery and your positive terminal off the secondary battery. And they both go directly back to the factory battery. You're going to break the positive terminal with an isolator that has a solenoid that's powered by a circuit that turns on with the key. You can see you got your negative right here, your positive leads. There's your negative and your positive. Positive runs back and your negative runs back. One of the things you have to be concerned about with the Chevy Silverado is it has this amp meter, and it's reading amperage through these two lines that are tied in directly to the battery. If you didn't have that, you could attach this ground terminal from the secondary battery straight to the frame. But in charging mode, you want to be able to read the secondary battery and the primary battery with this amp meter. So you're going to want to tie directly to the negative terminal, both batteries in parallel. This is a H7 battery. And the Silverado has this terminal block off of the positive side. Now that gives you all these attachments for the accessories. You have an open attachment here, and they're all fusible links. What I did is I came straight back with the positive from the secondary battery, tied it directly in to the main terminal, which ties straight in to the battery. So this is not a fused link between the two. It goes directly to the battery terminal. On this H7 style battery, you'll notice that the terminal is recessed below the surface of the battery, and that's going to cause you some problems. Originally, this is the terminal that's attached to the post, and you'd have these two wires right here, this one and this one, running directly into this. But there's no way to attach your secondary battery cable. So the only way that I found to resolve this issue was to use this adapter. So when you go to install this, you're actually going to have to pull the battery out and spin it a little sideways so you can get this post on, and you can get a wrench in here to tighten this bolt. And once that's done, then you can attach both terminals on, say your new battery, and then attach these two wires to the new lug. Then you'll have two separate lugs attached to this. So you have the red wire coming off of the existing battery. And right before the isolator, I have a fusible link here. I'm running a 100 amp fuse. If you wanted to use this for starting, you could use a 150 amp fuse. And that's just for protection in case anything shorts out. If you drop a wire or something across the circuit, you're not gonna burn your battery up, the fuse will break. Now just past that fuse, you're gonna come to this 200 amp isolator. Essentially, this isolator is a switch that just breaks this circuit, and it's run off of a keyed circuit. So this comes off the driver's side dashboard, a keyed circuit, and then the negative runs all the way back to this ground point. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the circuit where this is attached. All right, on the driver's side, right here you have this panel. And this panel will actually pop off. It's kind of a pain the first time. So you want to grab it and then run your fingers up and it'll pop out. So this is the wire that's coming from the isolator. And I have it plugged in with a spade connector onto this fuse. Now this is a keyed circuit that'll give 12 volts to this wire when you turn the key on. So when the key turns on, this circuit is energized, closes the contacts, makes contact between this pole and this pole, and it continues the circuit through directly to the battery. Now I have another fusible link here on the downside, just as a safety. Now that's the charging circuit. I have another circuit that runs off of the battery, and this is what runs the accessory panel for the refrigerator, for the USB ports, or whatever accessories you want. And this goes back through inside the vehicle. There's this little rubber cap here. You can just cut this little nipple off right here, and then that'll run in underneath the dashboard. And I'll show you where I have that run. My power is running underneath the dashboard. Through that nipple, runs up underneath, right there, underneath the ashtray, under the carpet, and runs into the lockbox. This is the circuit. It's coming directly from the battery through a switchable circuit breaker. I'm running a 40 amp breaker. I'm using this mainly as a switch, but also as a safety in case anything shorts out here. This breaker will blow. It's also switchable, so I can cut off all power to all the accessories with one hit of a button. Just by hitting that, it'll switch. And then it feeds my accessory panel. My accessory panel is feeding USB ports and a 12 volt cigarette lighter outlet. Now that circuit right there is what is powering the Alpicool portable refrigerator. The ground wire from the fuse block inside the lockbox comes through the lockbox towards the rear of the vehicle and attaches to the frame of the center console behind this panel. So here you can see there's the portable refrigerator in the back. Everything's running. I just turned it on so it's a little warm inside. Got your 12 volt outlet coming out the back of it. So on the back of the seat, you have your existing 12 volt outlet. That's run off of keyed power. And then this is direct constant power. I've got 2 USBs and the 12-volt circuit, and that comes off of the accessory panel that I have installed in the lockbox. Also, in an emergency, if your fuse is 150 amp fuse, it might work with the 100 amp fuse. You could use this secondary battery to start the vehicle in case your main battery fails, and all you would have to do is jump that circuit, which would energize the entire circuit. You're essentially jump starting your vehicle off of your secondary battery. From Stonebroke Adventure, till next time, bloop.